welcome back. It's time for another bookish dive.
Great to be back.
We've done a couple of these deep dives already, digging into different sources, looking for those key takeaways. And today, yeah, we're cracking open a specific book, one that's really resonated with a lot of people.
Absolutely. It's always exciting when we can dedicate a whole dive to just one source, especially one like this. It tackles, well, a pretty universal topic.
Right, personal finance. But like specifically for a certain generation, and it can feel pretty daunting.
Definitely. I'm ready to dig in, though.
Okay, so our mission today, unpack, Broke Millennial, Stop Scraping By and Get Your Financial Life Together by Erin Lowry. And if you're thinking, ugh, another dry finance book, you might be surprised.
Yeah, the praise for it really highlights that. It gets called out for having spot-on, often funny financial advice.
Exactly, funny. And delivered with humor, empathy, and a fun pick-your-financial-path twist. That's what caught my eye.
It's meant to be practical, actionable, not just theory, helping you get your financial life together without, feeling totally overwhelmed or ashamed about it.
Which is huge.
And the timing, or maybe the reason for the book, is key. Erin Lowry, the author, she noticed something among her friends, her peers.
Yeah.
She opens with a story about her friend Lizzie, smart, capable, young professional, but absolutely terrified of money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like actively avoided talking about it, super stressed, living paycheck to paycheck. And this was without major student loan.
Or it wasn't just about debt load.
No, Lowry realized it was bigger. This fear, this anxiety around money was holding back smart, savvy people, stopping them from understanding their finances, taking career risks.
Keeping them stuck.
Exactly, stuck in that hand-to-mouth cycle. So this book, it's her answer to that. A roadmap, really.
Okay, let's unpack this then. That idea of, like, the mindset, the fear. It's so relatable. How does Lowry suggest someone even starts to figure out their own patterns, let alone change them?
She hits that right away. Chapter 2, it's called Is Money a Tinder Date or Marriage Material? Great title.
Hi.
And it's all about understanding our psychological blocks with money, how our family history shapes us.
How so?
Well, think about it. Did your parents fight about money constantly? Or maybe they never talked about it. Maybe you got scolded for asking.
Or maybe they seemed okay, but were, like, secretly struggling.
Exactly. All that stuff leaves an imprint. It can make you see money as conflict or something shameful or just something to avoid thinking about.
So the first step is just acknowledging those hidden influences.
Pretty much, bringing them out into the light.
Okay, so you start to see the patterns. How do you then move from, like, thinking about it to doing something? How do you know where you actually stand right now?
That's chapter 3. Do you have a gold star in personal finance? She gives you this practical checkup, key benchmarks.
Benchmarks, okay, like what?
Well, one is retirement savings ratio. It's a guide, basically. How many times your salary you should ideally have saved by certain ages.
Okay. Like, age 35, have X times your salary saved.
Yeah. For example, age 25, maybe 0.2 times your salary. By 35, somewhere around 1.6 to 1.8 times.
Wow. That feels potentially scary for some people listening.
It can be. But Lowry's point is, knowing the benchmark now, even if you're way off, is powerful. It lets you leverage compound interest. It's better than realizing it way later.
Okay, what else is in this checkup?
The emergency fund. This is crucial. Lowry says aim for at least $1,000 minimum if you have debt, like credit cards or student loans.
Just a basic buffer.
Exactly. She calls it your fund for when you get hit upside the head with the bad karma stick. Love that.
Yeah.
If you're debt-free, then the goal is higher. 3 to 6 months of living expenses.
And freelancers.
Even more, like 9 months, because income can be less predictable. Her point is, it's not if something happens, it's when.
Makes sense. Okay, what else?
Your debt-to-income ratio, or DTI, that's your total monthly debt payments divided by your gross monthly income before taxes.
And why does that matter?
Lenders look at it closely. The goal is 40% or less. It shows you can comfortably handle your current debt and maybe take on more, like a mortgage. Affects loan approvals, interest rates.
Got it. And the last one?
Net worth. Simple formula. Total assets minus total liabilities, everything you own minus everything you owe.
The big picture number.
Right. Being net worth positive is the goal eventually. But, she says, even if you're negative, in the red, tracking it is key. You see progress. It turns that fear into actual data you can work with.
So it really is about getting that objective snapshot first. No judgment, just where you're starting from.
Exactly. It's the foundation before you get to the tools like the dreaded B word.
Budgeting.
Yeah.
Lowry claims she makes it enjoyable, which sounds like a challenge.
Well, maybe not fun for everyone, but definitely less painful. Her approach is about choice. That pick your financial path idea comes through strong here.
How so? What are the paths?
Okay, so for people who know they overspend, she suggests the cash diet.
Using actual cash.
Yep. For most things, groceries, eating out, fun stuff, it's like a reboot. When the cash runs out, you stop spending. That visual cue is really powerful.
I see that. Okay, what else?
Then there's tracking every penny. This is for the folks who look at their bank statement and think, where did all my money go?
Guilty.
Yeah. She tells a story about a roommate who did this and found out she was spending like $20 a week just on bottled water.
Wow, that adds up.
Right. Almost $100 a month she could use elsewhere. It's about awareness, regaining control.
Okay, any others?
The classic envelope system. Physical envelopes or digital ones. You give every dollar a job, rent, savings, groceries, fund.
So you're allocating money intentionally.
Exactly. And what Lowry gets is that having a dedicated fund, even a small one, changes the psychology. It's not just about restriction, it's giving yourself permission to spend guilt-free on some things.
That's smart, makes it sustainable.
Totally. Then there are broader approaches like the FEFI 20-30 rule. 50% of your income for needs, 20% for savings or debt paydown, 30% for wants.
A common guideline.
Yeah, and zero-sum budgeting. Every single dollar gets assigned a job. Ideally, you use last month's income to budget for this month. Helps break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle.
So lots of options.
Yeah.
But does she have, like, one key rule for budgeting?
Yes. Crucially, if you put an expense, say you cancel cable, you must make the effort to reroute the funds.
So don't just let it get absorbed back into spending.
Exactly. Pointless sacrifice otherwise. Move that money actively to savings or debt or another goal. Make the cut count.
Okay, that makes sense. It sounds straightforward, but, life gets messy. What about people with irregular income or just feeling totally overwhelmed by tracking?
She really leans into that pick your path thing for that reason. It's not about perfection. It's about finding what works for you.
So experiment a bit.
Yeah. Start small, try one method. If it doesn't stick, try another. It's about consistent effort over time, not getting it perfect on day one.
Okay, so you've got a budget, you're tracking. Where does the money actually live? She talks about banking next, right?
Yep. Chapter 5, Smart Banking. And she points out something many of us do. Just stick with our parents' bank because it's easy.
Huh. Guilty again. So what's her advice there?
First, make sure your bank is FDIC insured. Protects your deposits up to $250,000 per bank.
That seems basic, but important.
Totally. She has a great line. Banking somewhere uninsured is like dating someone who refuses to use birth control. You know it's a terrible idea.
Okay. Point taken. What else?
Ditch fees, annual fees, monthly maintenance fees, overdraft fees on checking and savings accounts. Those eat away at your money.
How do you avoid them?
Internet-only banks are often good for this. No branches mean lower overhead, so they often offer no-fee accounts. Shop around.
Makes sense. And savings accounts.
Go for high-yield savings accounts. You want a good APY annual percentage yield. That's the real return you get over a year.
What's considered good?
She suggests aiming for at least 1.75% to 1.00%. Now, that might sound small, but compare it to the 0.01% some big banks offer.
Okay.
Her example. $2,000 at 0.01% APY earns you 20 cents a year. Pitiful. But at 1.00% APY, it earns you $20.
Okay. Significant difference, actually.
Yeah. As she says, this tip alone shows how this book pays for itself. It's about making your money work for you, not just sit there, or worse, get eaten by fees.
Right, making it work for you, which leads perfectly into the next big piece. Credit, your financial reputation, essentially.
Exactly. Chapter 6 and 7, your financial report card, as she calls it. She first clarifies the difference. Your credit report is the detailed history. Your credit score, like the FICO score, is just a number based on that report.
And the goal for that number?
Join the 700-plus club. That generally gets you into good credit territory, opening doors for better loan terms and rates.
Okay, so how is that score calculated? What matters most?
5 factors influence it, but 2 are the big ones. Payment history is huge, 35% of the score. So paying your bills on time every time is critical.
Non-negotiable.
Pretty much. The second biggest is amounts owed, or your credit utilization. That's 30%.
How much debt you're carrying.
Specifically on revolving accounts, like credit cards, you want to keep your balances low compared to your credit limits, ideally 30% or less.
So if you have a $10,000 limit, try to keep the balance under $3,000.
Exactly. And Lowry adds, staying in the single digits makes a credit bureaus weak at the knees. shows you're super responsible with credit.
Good tip. Does she cover common worries, like not having enough credit history?
Yeah, the thin file problem. She talks about ways to build credit history safely. Also, the difference between hard inquiries when you apply for new credit, which can ding your score slightly, and soft inquiries, like checking your own score, which have no impact.
That's good to know. People worry about checking too often.
Right. And her main point about the score, it isn't a trophy. It's meant to be used to get you better financial products. Use it strategically.
And credit cards, the big rule.
Number one rule, pay it off on time and in full every month. Never carry a balance month to month. Interest rates are usually killer.
So treat it like a debit card, essentially.
Exactly. And if you're just starting or rebuilding credit, she recommends a secured card. You put down a small deposit, which becomes your credit limit. Great way to build positive history.
Okay, so these are the tools. Budgeting, banking, credit, foundational stuff. But what about actually tackling existing debt? That big mountain for so many.
Right, Chapter 8. Ditching consumer debt. First step, she says, echoing Michelle Singletary, is just fixing the numbers. Know exactly what you owe, to whom, and at what interest rates.
No more hiding.
Yep. Then she lays out the two main strategies for paying it off. Debt avalanche.
Highest interest rate first.
Exactly. Mathematically, this saves you the most money over time because you're killing off the most expensive debt faster.
Makes sense logically.
But then there's the debt snowball.
Smallest balance first.
Yep. You pay off the smallest debt first, regardless of interest rate. Once it's gone, you take that payment amount and add it to the next smallest debt's payment.
So you get these quick wins.
Exactly, those little victories. Michelle Singletary's quote is perfect here. It's really about behavior over math. For some people, that psychological boost is more important to stay motivated.
Choose the path that works for you again.
Right. She also covers balanced transfers. Those 0% APR offers on credit cards can be useful, but huge warning label.
Oh, yeah.
You have to know if the interest is waived, gone for good during the promo, or deferred. Deferred means if you don't pay off the entire balance by the end date, they charge you all the back interest from day one.
Ouch. That's a trap.
Massive trap. Her advice. Do not use this option if you think for one moment you'll be tempted to spend on the balance transfer card. Use it purely for debt payoff, pay it off completely before the deadline, or don't do it.
Solid advice. Any loans, she says, to absolutely avoid.
Payday loans and title loans often have insane APRs like 300% or more. Predatory stuff. Avoid at all costs.
Got it. Okay, that's consumer debt. But student loans.
Yeah.
That's a whole different beast for millennials, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Chapter 9 is dedicated to it. Huge complexities. She starts by differentiating federal versus private loans.
Why is that distinction so important?
Federal loans have way more protections and perks. Subsidized interest options, income-driven repayment plans where your payment is tied to your income.
Right, like pay or repay.
Exactly. And forgiveness programs, public service loan forgiveness, PSLF for government nonprofit workers, teacher loan forgiveness. Private loans generally don't offer any of that flexibility.
So know what kind of loans you have.
Absolutely critical. And her biggest piece of advice, call your loan servicer before you miss a payment.
Be proactive.
Yes. Don't wait until you're in trouble. You lose so much leverage once you're delinquent or in default. Call them, explain your situation, explore your options.
Any tricks for paying them off faster?
Simple stuff, really. Pay more than the minimum, even just $10 extra a month. That little bit extra goes straight to principal and can shave significant time, maybe even a year, off your repayment.
Wow, just $10.
Yeah, and making biweekly payments. Split your monthly payment in two, pay half every 2 weeks. Over a year, that adds up to one extra full payment, cutting down principal faster.
Smart. Okay, so we're managing spending, optimizing accounts, tackling debt. What about building wealth? The saving and investing side.
Yes. The mantra she brings in here is pay yourself first.
Meaning automate savings.
Essentially, make saving a priority, not an afterthought. And that emergency fund comes back up. Even with debt, having that cushion is key to avoid more debt when emergencies hit.
And she mentions another type of fund, too.
Yes, the fuck-off fund.
Right. Tell us about that.
It's basically savings that give you freedom. Enough money stashed away so you have the power to walk away from a bad job, a toxic relationship, a bad situation without being financially trapped.
That's empowering.
Totally. It's about financial independence giving you life choices.
So how do you boost savings generally, beyond budgeting?
Well, cutting expenses, obviously, the lattes, cable, etc., but also increasing income side hustles, asking for raises.
Which we'll get to.
Right. And then the big one, investing.
Which scares a lot of people. Feels like gambling.
She directly tackles that myth. Investing isn't gambling, it's about ownership. Buying a small piece of a company or the whole market. The real power is compound interest.
The eighth wonder of the world, supposedly.
Pretty much. It's real-life magic, she says, and it massively favors the young. Time is your biggest asset.
She has an example, right?
Yeah, Marshall's example, investing $4,500 a year. If he starts at 25 versus starting at 35, waiting just those 10 years costs him a huge amount in potential earnings by retirement age. Hundreds of thousands of dollars difference.
That's sobering. Really shows the cost of waiting.
It really does. So, key takeaways for retirement savings. Get your employer's match if they offer one. That's free money.
Absolutely. Don't leave that on the table.
Understand the tax benefits. Traditional accounts, tax deduction now, versus Roth accounts, tax-free growth and withdrawals later.
And you don't need to be a stock-picking genius.
Not at all. Lowry recommends simple index funds for most people starting out. Low cost, diversified, tracks the market. Keep it simple.
What's the main message on investing?
You don't have to understand everything before you start. All you need is patience, consistency, and time. Just get started, even small, and be consistent.
Okay, connecting all this. These small, consistent actions, budgeting, saving, paying debt, investing, they really compound, don't they?
Absolutely. It's not about one big dramatic move. It's the steady progress over time that builds real financial power.
So that's the financial mechanics. But how does this play out in the real world? Relationships, big life stuff?
Lowry tackles that too. Money and relationships, always tricky. With friends, she suggests strategies for avoiding awkwardness.
Like splitting the bill.
Yeah. Be upfront. Suggest cheaper alternatives if someone's budget is tight. Use apps like Venmo so no one's chasing cash. Keep it transparent.
And with romantic partners.
She calls it getting financially naked. Means total honesty. Sharing everything: debt, income, assets, net worth, credit scores. Create a judgment-free zone. You're a team.
That takes trust.
Huge trust. She also warns about red flags. Financial abuse controlling money, or financial infidelity hiding accounts or debts. Deal breakers.
Important points. What about family? Like moving back home? The boomerang kid.
Yeah, common thing. Chapter 13, she talks about the emotions, but also the financial reality. She actually argues for paying some kind of rent to parents.
Really? Why?
Even if it's small, like $100 a month. It's not just about helping parents. It builds your own budgeting muscle. You get used to allocating money for housing.
Interesting perspective.
And she mentions the cute idea of the parental 401k program where parents secretly save that rent money and give it back later as a surprise down payment or something.
Oh, that's nice.
But the main point is the savings potential. Her example, Clark saved $10,000 in 9 months living at home. Use it strategically as a launch pad.
Okay. And one more huge real-world thing. Getting paid what you're worth. Negotiation.
Crucial. Lowry drops a bomb here. Research shows not negotiating your first job salary can cost you up to $600,000 over your career.
Wow. $600,000.
Wow.
Just from that first negotiation.
Yeah. Compounding works against you there if you start low, so she emphasizes learning to negotiate. She quotes writer Kristen Wong's advice: always force myself, ask for 15% more than your first instinct.
Okay, push yourself. How do you back it up?
Come with proof. Don't just say you deserve more. Show your accomplishments, use metrics, quantify your value, build your case.
And for freelancers.
She shares her own trick. When a client asks your rate, flip it. Ask them about their budget for the project first.
Anchors the conversation differently.
Exactly. She tells a story of how she hoped for $800 for an article, but by asking the budget first, she ended up getting offered $4,000 for 3 articles. Huge difference.
That's brilliant. Okay, last big topic. The dream of homeownership.
Right. Chapter 18. First, she challenges the idea that renting is just throwing away money. Says it really depends. On the market, how long you'll stay, job opportunities. Renting offers flexibility that owning doesn't. It's not always a bad financial move.
Okay, but if you do want to buy, what about the down payment? That 20% hurdle.
She calls it a myth that it's always necessary. It's ideal, yes, avoids PMI, private mortgage insurance. But PMI exists because people buy with less down, and there are FHA loans, VA loans. Options exist for lower down payment.
So it's possible without the full 20%.
Definitely possible. But she warns, don't forget the hidden costs, closing costs, property taxes, insurance, maintenance. Owning is expensive beyond the mortgage. You need a separate emergency fund just for the house.
Lots to consider there. Okay, this has been incredibly thorough. We've covered mindset, tracking, budgeting, banking, credit, debt, saving, investing, relationships, negotiating. Wow,
It's a comprehensive book.
it really is.
Yeah.
So bring it all together, this book, Millennial, it's not just about quick fixes or cutting coupons, is it?
No, not at all. It's a holistic roadmap. Understanding the psychology, getting the practical tools, tackling the big hurdles like debt and investing, and navigating money in real life.
It feels like it's about empowerment. Taking control, maybe taking some calculated risks, breaking those cycles of fear and stress around money.
Exactly. Lowry's core message seems to be that money doesn't have to be this scary, untouchable thing. With knowledge and intentional action, it can actually become manageable, maybe even
Dare we say.
fun.
Huh. As she puts it, enjoyable, and even, dare I say, fun. Finding your path to financial confidence.
So for everyone listening, after hearing all this distilled wisdom from Erin Lowry, here's the challenge. What's the one small, actionable step you will take this week? Just one thing. To start or continue your journey to becoming, well, more financially confident.
Think about it. Pick one thing.
And then do it. Thank you so much for joining us for this bookish dive.
My pleasure.
Be sure to follow us for more of these deep dives, where we'll keep unpacking fascinating insights from all sorts of great sources.